What's up? It's Reality with WAP. Sorry I'm in the dark. Sitting outside, just smoking, hanging out. Now I want to start this video off because, to say that, I'm like devil's advocate. A lot of times when I look at situations, I take myself out of it, take the emotion out of it, take the personal feelings that I may have out of it, and look at stuff from the outside looking in. I want to start by saying I pay my dues and my respect to all the 6 people that died in the Waukesha parade and the 62 that was, hurt. And I'm going to give a 10-second moment of silence. Okay. My whole problem with the case is the judge, I just feel like, didn't show any integrity. I feel like she didn't give him a fair trial. Some people don't feel like he deserves it because of the stuff that he's done. But the reality of it is in the eyes of the law, you deserve a fair and speedy trial. I don't feel like he reserved that. He received that. I feel like the Reddit comments was, something to be concerned about. I feel like some of the objections he should have won, and she should have took her personal feelings out of it. Just like the way she set the sentence hearing. That was all personal because of the way he was acting, but he's getting frustrated, and he showed, I feel like, honestly, holes in the justice system, and a lot of times for black people, this is how we get dealt with. Especially when it's a crime to somebody else of another race. I feel like also some of the police were rehearsed, the witness were rehearsed. There was just no way that he just didn't get a fair trial. And the whole thing with the shock monitor on his ankle, that wasn't a tactic where he's just so smart from day one. He was complaining about that and saying this and saying that. No, that was stuff that he said continuously on through the trial. That was not a smart tactic of him. He had a shock monitor on him. He did. And you couldn't see it. And just like with what was it, Markeith down there in Florida? Markeith, I can't remember what his last name was. But he had a shock thing on him around his waist. And you just couldn't see it. For whatever reason, they didn't want the jury to know. That's kind of fishy to me. For him to need more time to get his people, and he's not being able to access a phone, he's not being able to contact his attorney, certain things. Like I said, if he kills 6 people, bury him under the jail, lock away the key. But give the man a fair chance. And a lot of y'all don't want to hear about it, hear that, because it's personal to y'all. Y'all are taking it personal. Some people it is your family. Some people it is your friends. Some people are just on the outside looking in and look at him as a flatline murderer. Now, to the people that ask me, hey, how would you feel if it was your mother, or if it was your family, if it was your son, if it was your daughter, if it was your friend? Of course, the police gonna lock them up. Do I agree with that? No. Me personally, I'd rather handle stuff and get justice out here on my own. I'm not going to go in depth what that means, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't wish jail on no man. I can handle it. I can be the judge, jury, and executioner easily to somebody that does something like that heinous and my family members was involved. But my views could be different than y'all's. But for the people that's in my comments saying, oh, he killed people because they were white. Oh, black culture is terrible, always playing the victim. Where's these outlandish comments coming from? Because the reality of it is we're all looking at the same TV, Fox, looking at all the propaganda and bullshit and the pictures that they're putting up, the false titles that they're saying, the different stuff that they're trying to. It's like Fox News is sensationalist. So when you go click on the video and they say, "Oh, well, he said throw me out, dude," some of that stuff was not true. It was fabricated and it was not true. They tried to paint a picture of a man. Hey, if he ran over somebody, cool. But hell, y'all don't paint Jeffrey Dahmer like that. Yeah, their demeanor's the same. He's acting crazy in court. But Jeffrey Dahmer, shit, just because he act calm and this and that, the way the media goes in on him, hell, y'all did a whole movie on him. The way the media goes in on him is way different than Darrell Brooks. Now, yeah, it's two different cases. I get that. 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 But just because his demeanor of frustration and this and that doesn't make him just some. It just is. It's like I said. It's too much sensationalism. It doesn't make sense to me. And it's like, you know what I'm saying. I would say judge him. You know, judge him by what he's saying and what the court is doing. Look at both sides. I don't see him, man. I mean, I see him, hey, if he murdered the people, he's a murderer. But I wouldn't be convinced that he's a murderer if I was sitting on a jury just because he shouts, just because he stands up, just because he gets mad. And I feel like the judge put a lot of feelings into this case. I feel like from day one, she was already, ready to book him, even though it's not ultimately up to him. But I just feel like from day one, she was against him. And when he was doing some of the stuff she didn't like, she waited all the way to this day where she knew he was going to be guilty, and she waited to the sentence hearing to go ahead and just dismiss him like she'd been doing the whole case. Dismiss anything he's saying, dismiss anything he wants to do or try to do. And I'm not saying go for his tactics, but some stuff can be objections. Some stuff was just there. Some of the tactics the detectives was using and bringing up wasn't right. And I mean, this was a one-way. This was a one-way street. And you can blame the evidence. You can blame it at this. You can blame it at that. Like I said, it's just my opinion. I'm chilling, cooling, just giving my opinion. But I feel like that case was a totally one-way street. That's not like I responded to some people already. That's not how I want a public servant that my tax-paying dollars is going towards, or that's not somebody that is a public servant that I will vote in. That's not how I want them to handle the case. I want them to go by the law, show what they're saying is not by feeling and by the law, and is accurate. And if that's asked, that's asked. All of this, some people are going out of town for this and going out of town for that, so I want to go in and sentence you this. It's too much personable stuff going on. Go by the law. Do what and just do right. I just don't see it wasn't a fair trial. Now, whether you personally feel like it was a fair trial or not, and whether you care or not, that's a totally different argument. I can't tell nobody how to feel. But one thing I can say is whether or not that was lawful. And some of that stuff wasn't lawful. And there's a lot of people cheering her on. There's more people cheering her on than saying something negative. But I do see some people saying negative stuff about her, and they're also agreeing with my side, which is by the time it got to sentencing, she was at her wit's end. She didn't want to do this. She didn't want to do that. She just straight wanted to be dismissive when it came to him. And I just feel like that wasn't right. What's reality with WAP? I thank for everybody that does tune in and watch, that does leave a comment, whether you disagree, agree, appreciate it. I'm using YouTube as a way to connect with other people, meet with other people. You know what I'm saying? And change my outlooks on life. I want to, see people that's commenting, that's making videos. Like I said, I'm a new YouTuber. But y'all check in with me. I promise some more content. As far as me, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get a camera. I'm gonna get things like that. If anybody is interested. Hell, I want to start live streaming. I want to interact with people. I'm a talker. You know what I mean? Every video might not just be just so intellectual. But, I'm going to give my opinion. I'm not going to be ignorant. And, I'm willing to hear other people out. I'm willing to debate. You know what I mean? This is Reality with WAP. It's my reality. That's the only way that I can move. I'm out.